Got some good-looking young guys there with him. These guys gonna play football for you this year? You just picked them up walking somewhere? Oh, okay.
They hadn't played a lick of football in 3 years.
Okay, well, that's okay. Good to see y'all.
I'll tell you what, McQuarter chickened out.
He did chicken out.
Administration. He said McQuarter's like, I don't want no part of it. I'm out of here.
He did. He chickened out. He wasn't gonna do it.
How you doing, Coach?
Coach, how you doing today?
All right, guys, y'all doing all right?
Guys, how you doing? Y'all?
Who are you three guys back here?
Yeah, tell us
Just
about
right
the kids
quick.
you brought with you.
Man, he puts the clock on you up here. I mean, he don't know me real well. I'm going to talk a lot. You might as well just turn that thing off. I mean, get real. These three guys have been with me forever. Chaz Pope, Cooper Austin, Landon Goins. They've been on the field contributing really ever since ninth grade and even below that. So been a part of all three of our region championship teams, all three of them all-state, all-region, all-county players. Plus, they're the only ones that couldn't get dates to do anything on Saturday come up here. So that was it, really.
That's okay. We'll take it. Now, how many years have you been at Spring Garden now, Coach, head football coach?
Caveman era, I guess. Nah.
Striking fence?
Came in 03, left for 2 years, so ever since 03.
Okay.
Came in 93. 93 came into the county at Cedar Bluff. 93 to 03, and then in 03 moved over to Spring Garden, left, went 2 years to Ohatchee, and then been back.
All right, he's been over there about 18 years.
Yeah,
Spring Garden.
roughly.
It's a long time. You're getting old, Coach.
I am old.
He's been coaching
I'm
a lot.
not getting old. I am old.
I did my practicum under him.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah, I'm 48.
I'm older than that.
You're only 49.
I'm not as old as Rat. You know, Rat's like ancient. I'm just close to ancient.
Well, Coach, how's your football workouts going? What you go in the mornings and how many days a week?
We go 3 days a week. We go in the mornings. Going pretty good. We got probably, I'd say 90-95% of the kids that's there.
These guys don't even consider like not coming, right?
No, it's really
I'm
not.
gonna sleep in today. They don't ever do nothing like that.
No, it's not an option. Now, we have a couple of kids miss here and there that have to work, but they all come get it in the afternoon. It's one of the things that is established. You know, when I came over in 03, good day for me was to have maybe 2 or 3 kids show up. There's days that I sat in the weight room by myself, which we really didn't have a weight room. I mean, I go over there and they got a Nautilus thing sitting in the middle of what's our junior high dressing room right now. So first thing we did was try to get a weight room going, and went up to Sandrock. Coach Jake away, took pictures of what they had, and then had one of our Booster Club guys build it. And we sort of went from there to we work everybody out, boys, girls, everybody, from 8 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock, and roll them through in different groups. Now we're running, 65 to 70 every day.
Yeah, when I visited the other day, when I first got there, the weight room was full of girls. I mean, they were working out and they were getting after it. I go see the guys, and Tony's got them over there running them, and then they swap and go back. It was a constant buzz over there in the weight room the other day. They're doing a good job over there. Tell us about that. You know, speaking about that, the culture at Spring Garden, you know, you just kind of talked about it a little bit, you know, the weight room and kind of how things were and kind of how you've brought things there. Tell us about the culture that you've kind of helped build over there somewhat, you know.
Well, I mean, it's not a culture we've helped build or anything. We've just had some good kids come through, good parents that support it. We have consistency in our coaching staff, and we all work well together. Coach Rapp, myself, you know, we share athletes, and we encourage our athletes to play all different sports, and the majority of our guys do. And it's one of them things of, we said what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. They bought into it. Once it gets rolling, I mean, these guys had grew up in it. I mean, they grew up in it. That's all they've ever known. And we're to that point now that it's sort of easy. I mean, it really is, because we don't have to fight the battles that law schools have to fight, like trying to get them there to lift weights, trying to do those things. It's just sort of accepted, and they take care of doing it themselves. And I put a lot on the kids. I mean, if somebody's not there, somebody does something wrong, most of the time they take care of it before I ever have to take care of it.
All right, Coach. As far as your help, who are your assistant coaches? Have you got anybody new? Did you lose anybody?
We've been solid on the football staff all the way through. Now we brought in Cole Murphy. Cole's going to join our staff this year. He'll take over our baseball program, and he's coming in from minor. Rest of us have been there forever. Coach Mack's been there with me forever. Coach Ragsdale, Benefield, Coach Wills. I mean, those guys have been with me ever since I came back from Ohatchee. Coach Matt was with me. He was at Spring Garden before I ever went to Spring Garden, and has been there. So I think part of our success that we have had is the fact that across the board we don't have a whole lot of turnover.
Right.
So,
I agree. That's big to a program.
It is, especially the smaller schools and bigger cities where you have, 6, 7, 8 schools. Sometimes it's not as big, because you have a lot of coaches. But these smaller schools around here for, this rural part of Alabama, I mean, they may just have a crew of 4 coaches, and also they're coaching baseball and basketball and all kind of other sports. So they'll lead into like your player nutrition, and we asked him about, Coach Knapp about how he likes to do that. And a 2-part question, kind of, guys, as far as nutrition-wise, what does Coach Howard expect you to do? And, are y'all sticking to that? Are they pretty good about it, or what?
Well, first of all, look at me. You don't need to talk to me a whole lot about nutrition. I'm sitting here watching Bo dump some doggone ranch on something out here, and, stuff like that. He dumping on a salad. I'm thinking you should be dipping some wings or something in that. Not enough protein in that. So, they do a good job of taking care of that on their own. We have lunchroom staff at, with the summer thing, they have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for them, and, we encourage them to eat. I laughed at them back there when you was talking to Knapp about it. I was like, tell you what, don't put in your body more than what to put in your body. I don't want you out partying and drinking and finding out what's on draft here before we leave or anything like that. So let's take care of not putting things in your body versus what you do. But you can let them guys answer because they are nutrition freaks back there. Hey, they may have something on them that says they're 21, but let me assure you they're not.
Well, I think all our coaches do a good job about reminding us before we leave the weight room to make sure we get something in our system to help our muscles repair and recover. And he's got some. He's always had some drinks in the field house you can buy, whether it's like a protein shake or I think he's got IVs in a bottle now that's supposed to help you keep from getting dehydrated and stuff like that.
Pretty much same thing. We got a body armor machine, everything go in there, get what we need, but he reminds us a lot.
Can't say anything else than they did, so.
I gotta say, I honestly can't remember Bullen ever telling us what to eat or drink.
No, I don't remember that.
Ever.
Never.
I smoked my whole senior year. So,
Todd,
those
you smoked
gashers-
your whole kindergarten year.
but that's awful. That's awful on conditioning. So don't smoke, boys. I'm serious. Don't smoke.
It's a different game than it is now. Back then, everybody smoked. I mean,
Yeah, it
players
wasn't a big
and
deal.
coaches.
Not everybody. Now,
coaches-
hold on for a minute. I didn't smoke.
Coaches
I've
too.
never smoked.
I mean, there was coaches on the sideline back in the day. I
Yeah,
know,
used to smoke.
Up in the Gadsden area, a coach that smoked.
That
on
was
the
Coach
sideline.
Heath that must be smoking on the sideline over there or something. Hey, man, we ain't smoking. I don't know what these two smoking, but we ain't smoking anything up there at the garden, okay?
Vaping. Vaping's the thing now, right?
All right, tell us about being the best team in your region. Trying to conquer that region, and everybody knows your record last year. And how far you guys went. What a fantastic run! It was school history, best run they had ever been on. We got to be a part of that with them. The show, we're appreciative for letting them let us follow along with them and document, make some of those moments special for the guys. Tell us about getting ready for this first game. Are y'all playing a jamboree with Sandrock, or how is that?
We're playing the jamboree
That's right.
at Sandrock.
Sandrock.
Now, you'll have to give Coach Heath.
That'll be,
I don't know who we play in the jamboree.
August the 20th, I
but,
guess. Okay, the jamboree at Sandrock.
He's hosting the jamboree. We got a countywide jamboree
Right, okay,
that
gotcha.
us, Cedar Bluff, and Sandrock plays, and they're the host of it this year.
So how do you kind of get ready and bounce back to, all right, guys, it's another year. We got to stay humble. What happened last year is in the past. We're starting a new legacy now. Kind of continue with that.
I mean, this group's a mature group. We got 13 seniors that's going to be with this group. So I really don't have to talk to them. They know that what we did last year ended at Mars Hill, and we don't talk about. I mean, it's over.
Right.
I mean, it's over. It puts a bullseye on your back. We know that. I'm sure Coach Heath got all kinds of good locker room motivational stuff up there. I'm not going to give him anything extra to put on the bulletin board, but it's a new year. It's a new group.
Right.
This group has went through, 3 region championships, 2 quarterfinal appearances, semifinal appearance. I think they've won 34 games in 3 years. So they know how to put what's already been accomplished behind you and just move forward. One thing that we have said before that really sticks to my mind, I had one of my motivational speakers say it one time, whenever you get into a car, front windshield's huge, but the rear view mirror is small because you don't need to look at what's behind
I've
you.
heard, yeah, that's good.
It's already gone.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, speaking about losing all those players, I don't think you've had a whole lot of trouble finding new leaders. I mean, I've seen Pope hit people before. That'll get you fired up right there. And
Who must have been at a game I wasn't at? I haven't seen him hit nobody. I mean, I don't know.
you don't see that much either. That's
Don't
why I
see
love
it.
watching
Yeah,
them. You don't see a lot
I've
of
been
it.
there for a long time. I ain't seen none of these 3 hit nobody. I tell you what.
Of course, I watched Cooper,
Cooper definitely
dominate
ain't going to hit
Hope's
nobody.
glove,
His game is nobody can hit him. Okay? How can I make sure nobody hits me? Now, Landon just wants to make somebody bleed. It don't matter if it's in practice. It don't matter when, what. Landon's like, hey, who am I going to hurt today? And I'm like, Landon, just Landon. And kids laugh at me because that's one of my favorite terms. I don't say anything else, just Landon. Landon.
So finding new leaders is no problem for you, right?
Nah, this group's been leaders ever since. I aggravate them a lot. I'm close to this group. But, they really are good leaders. They have been. Like I said, they've already, 34 wins in 3 years with this group starting and being the part of that nucleus with it. This whole group of seniors is just a special group. This is the group, everybody talks to us about 2A, going 2A, and this is the group, their class pushed us 2A. They, on the count, had 64 kids in it, but we've always said if we're going to go 2A, let's go 2A with this group because the majority of those kids do play sports. They are competitors.
Experience.
And that goes into the thing that we feel like is most important to us is just the competitive spirit of a group. And this group is very competitive with each other.
It was a little weird yesterday when you took me over to the gym to see the boys running, and I found myself, I was looking for Luke. It's because I've coached him when he was little, so I know him closer than any of them. I mean, he played Pee Wee football with Marcus when they were little. And it was just kind of weird. I kind of looked for Luke, and I was like, hey, he's not here anymore.
No.
I've seen them so long over there. You know what I mean? I'm sure gone. Do y'all still kind of look for – and you kind of forget, like, well, Riley's gone. And, but, y'all are going to fill those shoes, so – what can you do more as players to try to fill those shoes to make sure that what they help build, that you also help build, how do you continue that?
I mean, Luke did a good job of pushing everybody that was below him, everybody that was younger than him, pushing them to be the best people they could be, the best players they could be, and holding them to that standard to always get better each and every day. And I think that we can hold that standard and help push everybody else to be that person.
Riley and Weston, they both helped me a lot. Taught me how to become a leader, help encourage people. And it's just different without them there, but we'll move on.
I think all 3 of them was a good example, whether it be like by example or encouraging you. And I think like the main thing is going to be that we just got to do that to the younger kids coming up that's probably going to be stepping in to some of their spots and like make sure that they know what they're doing and knowing the plays and all that stuff.
That's good. That the culture that we asked about earlier, that's part of that. What you guys are talking about. So make sure the things that you learned. Make sure you leave those things behind for those young guys and to help continue to build that culture for Spring Garden.
I want to say one more thing about Chaz. I'm being serious here. With his hard hits, you don't see that much anymore. I think that's why it's so great. I
It
don't-
is. It is.
I mean,
Chaz,
you
Chaz
just
is
don't.
a true headhunter. I
He
mean,
is. He is.
And you get to see his a lot because he flies around the football. And you know what? A lot of people don't realize Chaz missed what 4 games last year.
I think it was 3.
He took. Well, we're not
Well, we
gonna
didn't
count
play
the
the
Gaston
Gaston
game.
game.
That was only one play. He scored on that one play, but it was still one play. You know, he tears messes his knee up in week 2, and we get into the dressing room. He can't even sit down. He's moving around, walking around. I'm like, hey, man, what's going on? He's like, it hurts. He had done scored a touchdown, had an interception, and come find out he had tore it up. And, you know, so he misses that, and he really don't come back to the Westbrook ball game and gets full speed. Then he really got his stride going come playoff time. About the time we hit week 9, 10, he was getting in full stride with us. Told you might as well turn that darn thing off. Try and put somebody
Well, if
on
Brian
the clock
Cloud
in here.
is-
You know, Bo and Reggie, they're going to talk, and then you ain't even got Fagan over here. Fagan can't shut up for nothing. I mean, you put all of us in the same room, man, that ain't no use.
Y'all got
Jake,
5 more
Coach
minutes.
Kelly, and them, they
Yeah,
can
well-
wait. They ain't got no big deal.
We'll turn it over to them now, Coach, and players, and y'all shoot at it. You got about 3 minutes.
Yeah, Coach. Daryl Higgins and I became really good friends recently over the last 6 months, and
I ain't talking to you then.
no,
Go ahead, pass the mic to somebody
this-
else.
this is
Pass
beautiful.
that mic to somebody else, man.
This is beautiful. This is a
I
compliment.
would not have taken him for a private school guy. You know, I would have thought public school guy. Man, you coming up? No wonder you did. No
what I'm
wonder
about to
you
say
eating
is
the
a
salad.
compliment to you guys,
I'll tell you
trust me.
what. No, go ahead, Bo. Go ahead, man.
so-
I like Coach Higgins. He's a good guy.
So when Coach Higgins and I visited the first time, I actually went up there and sat with him, and we started talking about the season, last season, everything, and you guys, your name came up, and this is a testament to you guys sitting behind you and yourself, obviously. And I said, Coach, when you seen Spring Garden and you watched film on them, I said, what did you see? I just want to hear from somebody else, you know. And he said, you know, Bo, there's very few times that I look at film and I see somebody that's more physical than us. But he said, I watched film on those guys and I knew they was more physical than us. And he said, in my own mind, he said, I knew it would be stupid to try to match wits with them. We had to do something else, and that's how he game plan. And I think that goes to a testament to what you talked about earlier with you and Coach Rapp, share players and how physical you guys are and how much the weight room means to all these guys back here. And to me, that says volumes to hear somebody like Coach Higgins say that his program don't want to match wits with your program because it really just it was nothing. He didn't think it was a battle he's going to win.
Well,
said,
he outwitted us that night. I'll tell you what.
But another thing I want to say about that is this group of guys right here behind you, you're talking about winning 30-something games in 3 years is remarkable. And I want to ask each one of these guys back here. So you've been to the semifinals now, and you know what that's like. And I know that's not what your ultimate goal is. But I want to ask each one of you individually, what do you guys plan to do individually to go to that next step? We'll start with Cooper, whoever wants to start.
I mean, I think that everybody in Spring Garden are competitors, and I think that it doesn't matter if you're competing against another team, another person, or either your past self, that each of us want to do better than what we was or the team that we was playing. And I think that everybody's just going to have that mindset that we got to get a step farther than we did last year. We got to be a step better than we was, a step faster. And I think everybody's just going to have that goal in the back of their head, that drive that's just going to push them and get them better.
The same question.
What was the question again?
What you guys been to the semifinals now? You've won a lot of football games. What do you guys plan on doing individually to lead this team to that next level?
Just get bigger and get stronger. Set a good example for the younger guys because they're going to have to step in at some point. And just take everything competitiveness.
Knock it.
I think they pretty much summed it all up, but making it that far and knowing we were almost there, I think it definitely motivated everybody on our team to work harder and get better so that we don't end up in the same position next year.
Absolutely. I got one more thing, then I'm going to pass it down to these guys. Coach, the beautiful part I like about what you are doing personally is a lot of people, when they think Spring Garden, they think basketball, and rightfully so. What Rat's done has been absolutely amazing. But for you guys to, you said it best, share players, share the weight room, bring the importance of that. I think that says volumes about yourself and your program. What does that mean to be in a place that's special enough that you guys can do that? Because we cover a lot of schools, and I can promise you, Coach, from experience, that's not the case everywhere.
Oh, it is super special. I mean, Rat's one of my best friends. We've been friends for even before I came to Spring Garden. Whenever I was there at Cedar Bluff, we were friends. And a lot of it's trust. You know, when we are during the season and doing things, Coach Dana and Coach Rat are usually in the gym. I mean, y'all tell Coach Rat don't hit the weight room too often. Heck of a runner, but, you know, ain't gonna get under a whole lot of weight. Hey, you look at me, I ain't gonna be doing a whole lot of running. But so Coach Rat takes care of the conditioning, and Coach Dana's in there with him a lot. And I trust him 100%. I turn football players over, and hey, if Rat Dana come in there and tell me, hey, this kid right here was a turd, I sent him on the road. I'm good with it. And it's vice versa. If I tell him, hey, this girl basketball player is a turd, she ain't come back in the weight room, he's like, well, I'm done with her. She's a turd for you. She ain't playing for me. And it's that unity and that trust that we have with all of it that makes it a special place. And I think that's why we don't have a whole lot of turnover as far as our coaches go. Once we get coaches there, they want to stay because it is a family. It is a friendship that we all have. And like I said, it's special. It's special, and, you know, always has been.
All right, anybody got anything else? We're going to roll on the sprint to Sandrock. Okay.
I had the chance to visit Spring Garden finally for a basketball game, and that experience was something I haven't felt in a while. A lot of community support, a lot of student support. It was a very good time up there. You guys back there, talk about the community support of Spring Garden and having your students, you know, your fellow students supporting you guys every Friday night.
Well, we all think it's a great place. I don't think you ever hear about anyone wanting to leave Spring Garden after they move there. And I feel like all our classmates come out and always have a good time at all our sporting events. Like, it ain't just football or basketball. They're even at our baseball games, and it's just fun to have them out there.
The community helps out a lot. It means a lot when you have a lot of people behind you and watching you play. It just encourages you a lot to have a lot of people behind you.
I mean, everybody in Spring Garden's family, just about, or it seems like we're family. Everybody's close. I mean, being such a small school, you go to school with your best friends. You see them every day. You're asking each other, what are you doing after school? You go into the game. If they say yes, then you know you're going to have a good time at the game.
And it makes a difference when at a small school like that, all the kids are kind of in the same building because you see each other, even from second or third graders or seniors. Those young kids see those seniors that wear their jerseys on Friday. You know, that's what makes it special at small schools like Spring Garden, Cedar Bluff, Gillsville. Yes, sir.
No, I think you've actually covered it completely. That's the thing we were going to ask about is I was talking with John Holder, who, you know, was a Spring guy not too long ago, and the one thing that kept coming up was culture, and you've hit on it completely. But it just seems like y'all have an incredible sports system behind you through the administration and through everything else because, you know, we were so excited to see you guys win the region the first time. Now you've hit the hat trick, but it seems to be kind of contagious. Boys sports, girls sports. Right now, Spring Garden is a hot spot in the state of Alabama.
Thank you, Dave. We got kids that's working hard.
All right, anybody else? That's it? All right. Give it up for Coach Howard and the young men here. We thank you guys. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. And, hey, I will say that might be the ugliest shirt. If anybody that wear a shirt that had Todd Dean's face on the back of it, I'll tell you what. Now that may top everything. But I mean, you're wearing a shirt with Todd Dean's face.
But it's got mine on it, so it balances it out.
I love it.
But did you ever think in your life that you'd be walking around with a
I
shirt
never
with
thought
Todd
that.
Dean's face
Never.
on
I never
it?
do.
I got a few women that's got that. A picture of me on it.
I promise you, there ain't no women got Todd Dean's face on their shirt. Calm down now.